Just a few days after I started Bible college in 1981, an article came out in Time magazine about a United Church of Christ minister named Mansfield Caseman who wanted to be ordained a Presbyterian minister. They asked him what should have been a simple question: was Jesus Christ God? Caseman answered, no, God is God. Well, that's kind of obvious. God is God. But is Jesus Christ God? Caseman refused to answer. In fact, Caseman refused to say whether Jesus Christ bodily rose from the dead or even to define the Godhead in any detail. Okay, so the guy's a heretic. Get rid of him. That's not what they did. After a fierce debate, a majority decided that they would ordain him as a Presbyterian minister anyway. Can you believe it? What would cause a person to think that Jesus Christ wasn't God? It couldn't be the Bible that he read, could it? Well, let me tell you about something that I read that made me think that Jesus Christ wasn't the creator after all. You won't believe how tiny it was. It was just one little word. Would you like to know what it was? Hi, I'm David Daniels from Chick Publications. When I graduated Bible college, I was a top Greek student. I went directly into advanced Greek at Fuller Seminary in '84. You'd think that would mean I knew something, wouldn't you? But see, all I knew is what I was taught. How do I know that what my Greek professors said or the books they taught from were correct? How would I know? But the meaning of a single tiny Greek word and a tiny English word in a well-known verse got me to think that Jesus Christ wasn't the creator after all. I started to think of Jesus as more of a middleman. And my professors, including my Greek professor, didn't help. Please open your Bible to John chapter 1, verse 3. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Seems simple enough. All things were made by him. What does that make Jesus? The creator. Even a 5-year-old can tell you that. That's the reading, and I checked it for myself, of the Wycliffe of 1384, the Reformation Bibles of the 1500s, the 1600s, 1700s. Look, even the Catholic Reims Douay of 1752 couldn't deny it. All the way through the Noah Webster of 1833. They all said the same thing. All things were made by him. Then, in 1870, a huge Greek interlinear was published called the Emphatic Diaglott, and everything changed. One tiny word was changed in John 1:3. Instead of saying that all things were made by him, it said all things were made through him. It's not rocket science. If all things are made through him and not by him, then he's not doing the creating, is he? He's not the creator. He's just a middleman. If God created all things through Jesus, but God did create all things, then doesn't that lower Jesus maybe to a little less than God? Just a little bit. See, in the 1870s, it was very popular and growing in popularity to believe that Jesus Christ wasn't God. Back then they called them Unitarians. 3 of them in 1870 were on a Bible committee to change the Bible. That became the English Revised Version. That's another story. It's in Look What's Missing. But how would you get other people to believe such a lie as this? Well, first, you'd have to change the books teaching New Testament Greek. Then, you'd need to change the commentaries on John chapter 1. And finally, you'd want to change the translation so it no longer said by, but through him all things were created. It didn't change in the English Revised Version of 1881. But John Nelson Darby, in his Bible of 1884 and 1890, changed by to through. And starting with the American Standard Version of 1901, published by Thomas Nelson, John 1:3 now said, through, not by. Almost all Bibles said it now. I made a chart. I'll make that available. All these Bibles don't say that all things were made by him. They say all things were made through him. The New American Standard had it right. Even it said by him. However, they changed that in the 1995 update, and now it also says through. Don't look to the New King James to save you. It also says through. 1979, 82, all of them. So did the first of the King James lookalikes, the modern King James Version of 1962, and this rare 1971 edition here of the King James 2 version also says through. Even the 2014 MEV, the modern English version, also says through. Et tu, Brute? Yep. After years of searching, I found out that God really did keep his promise to preserve his words. And those words are preserved accurately, perfectly in English in the King James Bible. Jesus Christ is the creator. All things are created, made by him. But he's also the judge. And I would not want to be there to watch all these new version writers being judged by him. Do you? Let me close with this. You may not have this problem. You may know that God is the creator and Jesus Christ is God and Jesus Christ is the creator. You may have a strong theology. You may have good Bible doctrine. But there is a generation of people that has arisen called the millennials. And many of them agree with Mansfield Caseman. They think that Jesus Christ is a good guy, but he's not God. Are you going to give them a Bible that feeds that doubt? Or are you going to give them a Bible that they can put their faith in? That puts Jesus in his rightful place as creator of the universe and says all things are created by him. Make your choice. Just realize you're responsible for the outcome. God bless you and have a wonderful day.